What's going on, people? We are getting ready to go to the beach. We're gonna go with Jenny's parents. It is Jenny's mom's birthday, so happy birthday to her. We're gonna go pick her up, but we stopped at the store to get some stuff first. It's a beautiful day out. It's been raining the last couple of days, and luckily today it's no precipitation, no likelihood of raining. That could obviously change. We're in Miami, so it could completely change actually. 15 minutes from now it could be pouring in rain. But we're excited. We're excited for what's to come. We're excited for you guys to send in more feedback. We had amazing feedback. It literally put us in a place where not only were we humbled, but we had the fear of God in making sure that we are, providing all the value that we know we can provide. But I promise you that it's going to get a lot more fun.
Southside, we gon' set this party up right. Southside, we gon' set this party up right. They told me to be quiet, I ain't good enough. Sitting in the corner dreaming one day
We're on our way to my parents' house.
Yes!
Today we're celebrating my mom's birthday. Today she's a princess. Thank you, Mommy. Her flowers.
So in every relationship, there's usually that someone who is, good with the addresses and knows how to get around, and they remember how to get to places. And then there's that person who's oblivious to the whole thing.
And that person is usually me.
My wife, she's my GPS. I just drive and go and tell me where to go. I have no sense of direction whatsoever. It's kind of sad to say. I would say it's one of my downfalls.
No te creas, yo también, pero
Yeah,
I tend to remember.
Yeah, but in comparison to me, there you go. See, I'm gonna make it right. One of the most common questions that we've gotten have been regarding how the process was from, becoming friends to eventually dating and getting to know each other. So the way we felt intrigued by one another, it wasn't like off rip. It wasn't something that like, oh, she's cute and oh, he's cute. It's not something like we saw each other and it was love at first sight. What ended up happening is that we were around each other, but we never really saw each other in a romantic way. We were just strictly friends. Long story short, what ended up happening was, after some time of us just hanging out together with our friends, there was this one time that I actually had a dream with her. And it was a very short and simple dream. We were sitting somewhere and it was nighttime. I don't know what the heck we were doing. But I was sitting on a bench. I was the only one sitting there, and it was a bench that fit like 3-4 people. But I was the only one sitting there while the group that we hang out with were just standing. And at some point, she sits down with some space in between us. She scoots over next to me and gets really close to me without even looking at me. This is all in the dream. I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember, it was a dream.
Yeah, this is all in the dream. And then what ended up happening is I wake up, boom. And then at that point, I was going super hard with, my spirituality and all these things. So I was like, God, what the heck is this? Like, what are you trying to say? I have no attraction towards her. There was no reason for me to have this dream. So I started to see what happened. And in the quest of me finding that out, I started to get more attracted to her, or not attracted, more so even it sparked a curiosity. It was a curiosity. And then from that, it led to interest. And then from that, being Dominican, it led her to kind of be like, oh, what's up? And then what happened was that I remember you told me that you
What?
Sorry guys, sorry, we got a like rigged tripod here. It's not a tripod, but dang it. Okay, so what had happened was we ended up, I remember that you guys were trying to figure me out since I was the new kid in the group.
Oh yeah.
They were trying to figure me out, and they were right. You guys were like,
yeah, we were a group of friends of, I think at that time we were like 8 or 9 of us. I don't remember. And my best friend and we always kept on talking to each other about him, not about attraction or anything. It was just like what are his intentions? Like, what kind of heart does he have? The guys were bringing him more along, and we were like, okay, but what's he about? But he was so hard to read.
And then I knew that the breaking point, and that's one of the things that I always encourage, is to understand yourself and how you work. I knew that once I connected with people within the church, I would stay more committed. So that ended up happening. So I started organically, not like attaching myself to the group, but it kind of organically happened, and they invited me to have dinner. I remember the first time was like Denny's, and then from then, hey, there's a party or something that we're a dance thing that we're doing, and we ended up going. So long story short, that's how the attraction started. And then at some point, I ended up just telling her, "I'll keep an eye on you. I'm kind of trying to figure you out."
The moment he told me that, I was like, what the heck? It's funny because I would even tell my other girls like, hey, what about Ivan for you? You know, I always put my girls like, oh, you don't like Ivan, and you don't think like, he's a good catch and whatever. I always saw him with others, but I never saw him with me.
So then what ended up happening is once we decided to actually, pursue it, see what happens, for some reason, I came up with the idea of just keeping it quiet as we can. Like being accountable, obviously, to our parents, because accountability is very important. We'll talk about that throughout this whole thing. But we were accountable not only with our leaders in the church, but also with our parents mainly, of course. And what ended up happening is that we spoke and we did, small little like dates, not because we were hiding, because our parents knew, our mentors knew, but because we wanted to guard what we have, and we didn't want opinions of others to influence what we have. So we ended up doing that for 7 months.
What you really want to know is like, what does God say? What is God saying about this relationship, or what if on this? Like, the less opinions, the less confusion you're gonna have.
Amen.
Okay, the less opinions that you get from others. That's why it's just wise the way that we did it, and it was very effective. Like, definitely we were very accountable in that time period of those 7 months. I mean, we talked for 11 total, but 7 months was just nobody knowing, just our parents and our leaders at church, which we were very accountable with, because we knew that if we weren't, then the enemy could attack us.
How did you feel about that though? Like, how did you feel, so that they know? I know how you did, but how did you feel when I told you that, me not really knowing the process or the right way to go through this, my first time pursuing someone or talking to someone within church? So yeah, the very first one, and she got wifed up. Anyway, how did you feel about that?
At first I was very uncertain, but then I just started like meditating on it, and I was like, you know what, like, that's so wise. It's very wise, especially because if you have the same friends, like on the real, they're gonna mess around. Hey, Jenny and Ivan.
They're gonna make it awkward as heck.
So it just wouldn't help for this process to really know, hey, is this gonna work out or not? Yeah. And the thing is that, like, let's say, what if this wasn't the will of God? What if, it didn't work out and people did know? Then it would make it even more awkward to like still hang out or being around. You got me? With our friends, one of us would be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be there because he's already there, or the other friends will also be awkward because it didn't happen or whatever. So it's just wiser that way. For us, obviously.
It's crazy because she didn't really, like, you didn't hesitate.
I didn't.
You kind of went from it. One of the things that attracted me to Jenny from the beginning was her level of submission to authority when she felt it. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't nobody really in church. I didn't have a title, but what she picked up on was, the place where it was coming from versus me just trying to be bossy. So there's a big difference. Like, I
saw the intentions of it, why he was doing that, because my spirit felt the authority weight from him.
So one time she had this bad habit. This is a fun fact.
Oh my God.
She had this bad habit of punching people.
I did.
Like,
punching guys.
Punching guys in particular.
Like
obviously.
my guy friends.
Yeah, like in a joking manner, nothing like serious, just in a joking manner. When they would say something, she would just punch the crap out of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, ha ha ha, bang.
And then when I'm coming into that, I'm like, that's not ladylike. Like, you shouldn't do that.
God.
That's not. And in a loving way, I guess it came out, but I was kind of like taken back by it. So what ended up happening is once I told her that, she retracted.
Like, it hit me. Like, I felt the correction, like, obviously in a loving way. People would tell me, you should stop punching, no sé qué. But when he told me, and I'll still do it, But when he told me, he's like, he told me like, this is not ladylike. Like, why are you punching guys? Like, it's not attractive. And I think that was, were we talking already?
No.
No, I don't think we're still friends.
Yeah.
When he told me that, I was like, oh my God, you're right. And I stopped. Like.
And then that was something
Bro.
that I noticed, of course.
He saved my guy friends, or our guy friends.
Yeah, they would have come out with
They
bruises.
have no bruises anymore.
So that was something that, of course, I saw her reaction to that, and then later on, it played a big role in me, falling in love with her and all these different things, because I saw her willingness to accept correction, but accept it not from a place where, yes sir,
Obligado.
like I have to, but just her feeling the weight behind what I was telling, and it was
Yeah.
because of her own good, not
Right.
because I'm trying to be bossy or machista or anything like
Right.
that. So that's a little fun fact, side story there. So there you have it, guys. This was part 1 of 2 of this little mini series of From Friends to Dating. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please do not forget to comment. Please subscribe so you get notified of next week's episode. Remember, every Wednesday, there's going to be a new video dropping. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Hands in the air. Wave 'em like you just don't care.